Hello, Jean-François. How are you?
Joerg, I'm very well. I'm excited to engage in a conversation with you.
Thanks for making time and joining our session on COACHpreneur. Maybe to introduce you quickly to the audience, Jean-François is owner of Morphosis. Morphosis is a coaching school and is also running the COACHpreneur course. And Jean-François is lead facilitator of the course, and I wanted to have the opportunity to talk with him about the course so that we learn the motivation behind and get some insights. Can you share the story behind COACHpreneur? What inspired you to create this course?
Oh, wow, that goes back a while ago when I completed my coach training. What was it, 11, 12 years ago? I came out of an excellent year-long ICFBCC level course, very well equipped to coach, so passionate about coaching, trained and proficient about coaching. And I was ready to sell my business at the time and start a new business, do this on a full-time basis. But then how does one build a coaching business? How does one get clients? And I started engaging in conversations. And eventually I found a course offered by a faculty out of San Diego, California, Steve March, called Coach as Entrepreneur. And it seems like an excellent fit. I attended it in Singapore, and it was such a powerful course. So much so that at the end of the 3 days, I went to Steve Martin and says, could I license your course and offer it in this part of the world? And what is COACHpreneur today is an evolution from that conversation, because we see so many people coming out of coaching school passionate about coaching, able to coach, but that don't quite know how to make a living out of it. And sometimes even worse, that try and fail and go back to the job that they left because they didn't want it, did not resonate with them any longer. So I felt that it was absolutely essential, next to developing the coaching skills, the coaching core competency of ICF, to develop the entrepreneurship skills. And it's the combination of the two that makes for a successful coaching practice. If I use a metaphor, you cannot clap with just one hand. It takes two hands. So you've got the coaching, you've got the entrepreneurship. And one of the beauty of the course in particular is that it is not generic entrepreneurship. There are plenty of generic entrepreneurship courses outside there, but it is entrepreneurship specifically for professional coaches, specifically with the purpose to develop and sustain a successful coaching practice. So I found it answered a significant need in the market for myself initially, and then for our graduates as a coaching schools, or for any coaches outside there.
Interesting. You maybe already partially answered my next question. What is different with this course and distinguishes from other business development programs for coaches?
Comparing is not something that I indulge in very often. I don't find it particularly useful. In terms of distinguishing characteristics, I've stated the first one is entrepreneurship specifically for professional coaches. So all of the content, all of the exercises, all of the tools are directly geared to the profession of coaching. The second that I find really attractive is that it starts within. Very often the work of entrepreneurship is an external work. How am I going to build a brand? How am I going to do social media and this? And of course we cover all of that. But prior to that, it really focuses significantly and deeply on the question, who am I? Because if we do not answer the question, who am I? How do we answer the question, what am I offering and who am I serving? Because as a coach, what am I selling? I'm selling myself. I love that sentence from my coach supervisor at Murdoch. Who I am is how I coach. So we start with an inner journey to figure out who I really am. And therefore, what is it that I'm going to offer and who am I going to serve? In direct correlation to who I am. And if I go one step further, very often we coaches choosing a market for themselves because they feel this is where the volume is or this is where the money is. So you come out of coaching school and I'm going to be an executive coach because that's where the big money is. But then if every coach in the world is an executive coach, it's going to be a very competitive market. And therefore, there will be a strong price pressure. Instead, if you go within yourself and you look at your life circumstances and the challenges that you have faced, and that informs who you serve and how you serve, then you're going to figure out a niche for yourself and you will not compete with anybody else. The one example that I find the most visual from one of our graduates is a participant articulating that she coaches family caregivers of dementia patients because her father had Alzheimer and she was the primary caregiver. And it was really challenging for her. But eventually she overcame the challenge, and now this is what she offers to the world. And in the country where she resides, there are 300,000 people suffering from dementia. She is the only coach that coaches family caregivers of dementia patients. So getting clients, not an issue. Price point, whether it's $1 or $2, never mind, I need it. I'll stop here. I could go on and on.
You're really passionate about the topic, and likely you will have opportunities to continue on that path as well, because the next question is, what are the biggest challenges coaches face in building a thriving business, and how does COACHpreneur address that?
Oh, wow, there is a long list. There are two that comes to mind in this very moment that are connected. The first one is a lack of self-confidence. Because we're not selling a physical product, we're not selling something or somebody else, we're really selling ourselves. And for some coaches, it's quite a journey to come to term, I'm worth that X amount of money. And therefore develop that confidence that I'm worth it. And in particular, many of our graduates, before becoming professional coaches, have had very successful careers for 10, 20, 25 years. And yet they come and say, I can't charge that much because I'm just graduating. I'm a baby coach, age 45 or age 50. Yes, in terms of coaching, this is recent. But you've got these 25 years of corporate experience, life experience, wisdom. Do not discount that. That is worth a lot. And therefore, that's the second element where I see many people being challenged is how much to charge. So many coaches undercharge. And it does not serve them and it doesn't serve the profession. If there is value, then there needs to be a fair reward for that value. And in my experience, coaching changes lives. Well, how valuable is that? It's going to change your life for the rest of your life. That must be worth something.
That the later part is really something I'm also observing a lot in conversations. Also, there is a lot of research from ICF, for example, which highlights the breadth of coaching fees, and sometimes it's really surprising how little coaches charge. They are doing themselves a disservice as well as the whole profession.
Also, a disservice to their clients. Because if that is the energy they bring to the professional coaching relationship, this is how they will serve the client. This is the level of possibility that they will offer to their client.
Makes sense. So then maybe next question is also a fit here. What key mindset shifts do participants experience during the course?
That will bring another distinguishing characteristic, because as coaches we believe that every client is unique, and therefore every participant is unique. And we meet every participant in their uniqueness. So what will happen with one will be different from what will happen with another one. And each will be met where the most powerful leverage lies for that one individual. It's not a one size fits all. One size fits all is that the opposite of what coaching is. Coaching is enter the world of the clients, not you enter my world as the facilitator. We meet our participants where they are and we support them where it will be most powerful for them to be supported and where they choose to be supported. Participants are free to choose which part they take on, which part they feel will serve them best. I use the metaphor of a buffet, as we have wonderful buffets here in Asia. You've got all of these dishes and you can try a little bit and then you see the one you like and that's the one you go for. Or you're the type that wants a little bit of everything and that's perfectly fine. Or you've got a really big appetite and you want a lot of everything we offer, that's also fine. And for some people, I'm going to do it all now. And for other people, I'm going to do it one step at a time at my own time. That's also fine. As in coaching, no expectation, no judgment.
And how does the group dynamics contribute to the success of the course?
Oh, that's a wonderful and a powerful question. It would be nowhere near as powerful if it was not a group journey. Over the 6 months of the course, learning happens from the facilitator. Learning happens from the individual participants, and so much from the group dynamics indeed, because you learn from other people experimenting with the material, you learn from other people providing you feedback, engaging in conversations, being a mirror to you. Yes, absolutely, it is a group process and it is a dimension that makes it very powerful.
So I hear you saying several times the word coaching. I'm assuming that this course is not lecture. It's a blend of all sorts of predominantly coaching. Is that correct?
Well, not predominantly coaching. It's not a coaching course, it's an entrepreneurship course. It is predominantly experiential. So it is not theoretical. We provide a theoretical framework, but it's really one at a time. We're going to give you a tool and we're going to give you the opportunity to use it. So today we're going to give you a hammer and a nail, and you're going to practice getting a nail into a piece of wood with a hammer. And then in the next session, we'll give you a screwdriver and you'll practice putting a screw into a piece of wood. And little by little, you will develop the skills, because these are skills and competencies. This is not only knowledge. And the other thing that is important is that it is an iterative spiral process. So it's not a linear process. You do it once and then you're an entrepreneur. Entrepreneurship is just like coaching. It's a lifelong commitment to learning and development. It is a craft you refine. It is a journey of mastery. And mastery is practice.
I am blown away. So we're having all kind of thoughts on my mind now, and that is maybe beyond the scope of our session or our recording today. So I just push that away and move on with the next question. Maybe you answered it already. How does the course blend coaching skills with entrepreneurship in a way that truly works?
I don't know that it does blend them. I don't think the aim is to blend them. The aim is for our participants to have both and use the coaching skills when they are coaching and the entrepreneurship when they attend to their business. Because they have very different skills and competencies. And that's why COACHpreneur is so important, because just having the coaching skills is not sufficient. It's necessary, but not sufficient. So they're complementary.
Understood. Thank you for that insight. Can you share some success story from a past participant?
Oh, so I've already shared the one of our participant taking care of family caregivers of dementia patients. That's my go-to story. Just a couple of days ago, I was hearing one of our participants sharing about how he went from having no client for an entire year to taking a very small step that is part of our course and getting 10 people responding to it and engaging in conversation with 8 out of the 10, 2 had not yet responded. And out of the 8 conversation, 7 signed up for coaching. Wow, that type of conversion rate, that made my day.
Okay, you hear this? This is a good argument. That's a fantastic story. I think everybody can relate to that. And I'm assuming that's not a one-off. It's one of many positive experiences.
Different for every participant. For another participant, it might be, I used to charge $50 an hour. I now charge $150, and I get more clients at $150 than I used to get at $50. What we sell as coaches is our time, and our time is limited. So getting the best return on our time is key.
Yeah, that's a surprising fact I also hear often. If you price too low, then it doesn't work. And if you price, and that's often higher, significantly higher, you attract a certain group of clients.
There's perception of value.
It's an interesting insight. What tangible results do coaches typically achieve after completing the program?
If they apply all of the tools, techniques, methodologies that we provide, they will come at the end of the course with a detailed, thorough, comprehensive business plan to develop and sustain a successful coaching practice. They will have a template, and then it's a matter of implementing. That's the spiral element of the course. You revisit it over and over again. You refine it. One of the elements of the course that we've not spoken about yet, one half of the course is Steve Marsh's content, the 9 core design practices. And the other half is Genius You, entrepreneurship. And one of the things that I find really valuable in Genius You is the notion that the skills that are required at different stage of development of your business are very different. So what it takes for you to get your first client is different from what it takes for you to get from 1 to 10 clients. And again, is different from what it takes to get from 10 to 100 clients. So through the 11 Genius U micro degrees that are part of our COACHpreneur course, you will see what needs to be done at every stage of development of your business. Because we see again fairly often entrepreneurs that are very successful at one stage, and then either they plateau, either they fall off, because they keep applying the same recipe at the next stage. And that's not what is called for at that subsequent stage of development of the enterprise.
Another powerful insight. You mentioned the duration of 6 months. Why 6 months?
Entrepreneurship as coaching is a practice. And practice is repeated action over a sustained period of time. And 6 months to me is the minimum to get started powerfully. And it's important to be supported through the journey. We could deliver in 3 days and then let you go. But you were talking about the group dynamics, the support of the group, the support of the facilitator over a 6 months period. can make the difference in between success and failure. To its very essence, it is true for entrepreneurship, it is true for coaching. Facilitating such a course is really about holding a safe space for the participants to explore and practice and learn.
Wow. Again, my head is full of thoughts. Cautious of the time, the final two questions. Who is this course best suited for?
Anyone that is a coach, either a new coach or a developing coach or an established coach, it doesn't matter your level of experience as a coach, who wishes to either develop and or sustain a successful coaching practice, to earn a living as a coach. Now, not that many people earn a living solely from coaching. But it can be a combination of coaching and training, facilitation, consulting, because the tools we use and the tools we learn will be fairly relevant as well for other helping professions next to coaching. So if you just want to earn more from coaching, if you want coaching to be your entrepreneurial outfit or your business for the foreseeable future, that probably will serve you very well.
So there are a lot of coaches out there who are either internal coaches or their coaching, as you mentioned, is not their main source of income. They are doing something else. For those who maybe aspire coaching to maybe step out of their corporate role or aspire coaching to take a bigger part of their life, when is a good time to take the course?
When you feel that it's a good time. As I always say, when the time is right, the time is right. You'll know it. Herbert von Karajan, the famous conductor of the Berlin Philharmonic Orchestra, that was answering a question when a musician was asking, when should I start playing, maestro? When you can no longer not play.
If a coach is on the fence about signing up, what would you say to them?
A coach in me kicks in. How is it for you to be on the fence? Is it a pattern in your life? If it's working for you, very well and good. If it's not working for you, then you need to break the pattern and try something else.
Okay. Thanks, Jean-François. That was very insightful. Is there anything which I haven't asked, or is there anything else which you would like to mention about COACHpreneur in general or specific?
No, I feel that you've covered already quite a fair bit through your questions.
Okay, then thank you very much for your time. Thank you very much for sharing the insights and truly appreciate it. I enjoyed our conversation.
Thank you for the opportunity.